If you're a woman over 60, I need you to stop what you're doing right now and listen to this. Because according to the CDC, women your age are up to 70% more likely to suffer from serious heart issues if they eat the wrong kind of bread. And I'm not talking about pastries, fast food, or donuts. I'm talking about the bread you're probably eating every single day. The one you toast in the morning, the one you use for your turkey sandwich. The one you think is healthy because the label says things like multigrain, or gluten-free, or made with whole wheat. But here's the shocking part. Research from the American Heart Association shows that many of these so-called healthy breads are doing the exact opposite. They're secretly raising your blood sugar, triggering inflammation, draining your energy, and even speeding up memory decline. And the scariest part? You'd never know it, because the damage builds slowly, quietly, year after year. One slice here, one sandwich there, and before you know it, you're dealing with stubborn weight around the belly, brain fog that won't lift, low moods, or even signs of prediabetes. And the saddest part is, you thought you were doing the right thing. You were trying to eat well. That's why in this video, I'm going to show you the 4 breads you should never touch again after 60. And the 4 you absolutely should eat every single day to protect your heart, your brain, and your energy. Because it's not about giving up bread completely, it's about choosing the right ones. And once you know the difference, it changes everything. Now think about this for a moment. Every single day, millions of women over 60 wake up, head into the kitchen, and reach for what feels like a safe, familiar ritual. A slice of toast with breakfast, maybe a sandwich for lunch. You might even choose that bread carefully, the one that says whole grain or multigrain on the label. You might think, I'm being smart, I'm doing what they told me to do. But here's the truth that almost no one is talking about. That innocent slice of bread? It could be spiking your blood sugar higher than a scoop of ice cream. It could be draining your energy, causing inflammation in your joints, clouding your memory, and even weakening your bones. All without a single symptom, until it's too late. The scariest part? Nearly 99% of senior women have no idea. The breads we trust the most, the ones we've been told are better, are often loaded with refined starches, artificial additives, and hidden sugars. And when you're over 60, your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Your digestion slows down, your hormones shift, your blood sugar becomes harder to control. Your bones and heart need more support, not less. And yet, many women are unintentionally feeding their bodies something that works against their health. Not because they're doing anything wrong, but because the food industry has made it incredibly hard to know what's actually good for you and what just looks healthy on the outside. So if you've been struggling with stubborn belly fat, low energy, poor sleep, or even forgetfulness, don't beat yourself up. The problem might be sitting in your bread box, hiding in plain sight. Let's talk about it. Right here, right now. What's your age? Where in the world are you watching from? And what's your go-to bread these days? Are you team sourdough? Or are you sticking with that multigrain loaf? Drop it in the comments below. At LifeStamina, we read every single one, and your story might be the one that helps another amazing woman make a life-changing choice. All right, let's shift gears for a moment, because here's the good news. Not all bread is bad. In fact, some breads, the right ones, can actually support your health. They can help stabilize your blood sugar, calm inflammation in your joints, strengthen your gut health, and even protect your heart and brain from age-related decline. These aren't just tolerable options. They're delicious, satisfying, and actually life-enhancing. If you've been feeling tired, foggy, or out of balance, the right kind of bread might be one of the easiest, most impactful changes you can make. So let's dive in. Here are the 4 breads that every woman over 60 should be enjoying daily to feel stronger, think clearer, and age with power and grace. Some of these may surprise you. All right, let's begin with the good news. Because yes, there are still breads out there that love your body back. These aren't trendy diet fads or flavorless bricks. These are time-tested, nutrient-dense, body-friendly breads that can help you age well. And we're starting with one that surprises almost everyone. 4. Authentic sourdough. Sounds old-fashioned, right? But this humble bread may just be one of the most powerful options for women over 60. Why? It's all about the fermentation process. Real sourdough is made by allowing the dough to ferment naturally for up to 48 hours. During that time, wild bacteria and natural yeast break down gluten, reduce anti-nutrients, and produce something called postbiotics, which are amazing for gut and immune health. That slow fermentation also lowers the bread's glycemic index, which means it won't spike your blood sugar the way regular breads do. For senior women, that's huge. Stable blood sugar means better energy, sharper thinking, and a more balanced mood. Plus, easier digestion. Many women over 60 develop mild gluten sensitivities that they've never had before. Real sourdough? It's gentler. Here's your buying tip. Read the label carefully. Real sourdough should have only 4 ingredients: flour, water, salt, and a sourdough starter. If you see vinegar or commercial yeast, it's fake sourdough, and you're not getting any of the gut-loving benefits. Number 3. Sprouted grain bread. Number 3 on our list is sprouted grain bread, and it's exactly what it sounds like: bread made from whole grains that have been allowed to sprout before being ground into dough. Why does that matter? Sprouting unlocks the full potential of the grain. It activates enzymes that break down phytic acid, a compound that blocks your body from absorbing key minerals like magnesium, zinc, and calcium, which means better absorption for bones, nerves, and muscle function. And for senior women, especially postmenopausal women, that's essential. Sprouted grains also contain more fiber, but the right kind of fiber, the kind that doesn't bloat you, the kind that gently supports digestion and feeds healthy gut bacteria. Even better, sprouted bread tends to have more plant-based protein, which helps maintain lean muscle mass as you age. When you shop, make sure the first ingredient on the label says sprouted whole grains, not just multigrain or wheat flour, and skip anything with added sugar. You don't need it. 2. Genuine Ezekiel bread. At number 2, we've got genuine Ezekiel bread. This is a special type of sprouted bread, inspired by an ancient biblical recipe, made from 6 organic sprouted grains and legumes, including wheat, barley, lentils, and spelt. What makes it so powerful is that it's a complete plant-based protein, which is rare in bread. That means it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to maintain muscle and energy without relying on meat or dairy. It's low on the glycemic index, rich in fiber, and free from added sugars or preservatives. For senior women, that's a triple win: stable blood sugar, long-lasting energy, and nutritional support for lean body mass. Many women over 60 struggle to keep their strength, especially post-menopause. Ezekiel bread helps with that. But be careful, not all Ezekiel-style breads are real. The original must contain all 6 of the biblical grains and legumes. Look for brands that say Food for Life or Sprouted Whole Grain Ezekiel, and always check that full list of ingredients. 1. 100% grain barley bread. And now, our number 1 healthiest bread for women over 60. 100% whole grain barley bread. This is the dark horse. Most people have never even heard of it. But it's an absolute superstar for women's health. Barley is loaded with a unique type of fiber called beta-glucan, which has been shown in dozens of clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol, regulate blood sugar, and support healthy gut bacteria. For women post-60, this means real protective benefits: fewer blood sugar spikes, lower LDL cholesterol, and reduced risk of heart disease. Plus, it feeds your microbiome, which controls everything from digestion to mood to immune function. If you've been struggling with energy dips, high cholesterol, or sluggish digestion, this bread could be part of the solution. But you have to get the real deal. It must say 100% whole grain barley on the label. If it says barley flour blend or barley enriched wheat, put it back. That's mostly filler. So there you have it. 4 breads that don't just fill your stomach. They fuel your body. They support your hormones. They protect your heart and mind. And yes, they're delicious. But now, it's time we flip the script. Because just like there are breads that heal, there are breads that harm. And unfortunately, the ones that do the most damage are usually the ones hiding behind healthy-looking labels. Some are probably sitting in your pantry right now. Now, we need to talk about the other side. The breads that pretend to be healthy, but are doing real damage behind the scenes. These next 4, they're not just empty calories. They're actively working against your body, especially if you're a woman over 60. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Bread number one, it's the most deceptive of all. Most women don't think twice before eating it. In fact, it's marketed as healthier. But it's not. It's dangerous, and if you check your kitchen right now, there's a good chance it's sitting on your shelf. Let's walk through the 4 most harmful breads for women over 60, and why they may be aging your body from the inside out. 4. Enriched white bread. We're starting with the obvious one, but it's still in millions of homes. Enriched white bread. It's soft, cheap, and familiar, the stuff many of us grew up on. But here's the truth, it's basically sugar in disguise. When you eat white bread, your body digests it almost instantly, converting it into glucose, which spikes your blood sugar and triggers a flood of insulin. And what happens next? That excess sugar gets stored as fat, especially around your belly, where it puts your heart at risk. But it gets worse. White bread is made from refined flour that's been stripped of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. So you're not getting nourishment, you're just getting calories and cravings. Plus, it often contains preservatives and conditioners that disrupt your gut health. Look out for enriched wheat flour on the label. That's just a fancy name for stripped-down, nutrient-dead flour. It's time to let it go, for good. 3. Commercial whole wheat bread. Now this one feels tricky. Whole wheat sounds healthy, right? But here's the ugly truth. Most commercial whole wheat breads are just white bread in disguise. Many brands take refined white flour, add a splash of molasses to make it look brown, throw in a bit of wheat bran, and call it whole wheat. But it's not. The result? You think you're eating healthy, but you're still getting sugar crashes, inflammation, and almost no fiber. And for senior women, that can mean midsection weight gain, brain fog, and even bone weakening due to mineral loss. The hidden danger here is marketing. Unless the first ingredient says 100% whole wheat flour, you're likely getting a bread that's spiking your blood sugar and messing with your hormones. Don't be fooled by brown coloring or heart-healthy claims on the packaging. Flip it over. Read the ingredients. 2. Packaged multigrain bread. Ah yes, multigrain. Sounds like the holy grail, right? Multiple grains, variety, fiber, not so fast. Most multigrain breads are made with a mix of refined grains, sprinkled with seeds or oats just to look healthy. The grains are often heavily processed, meaning your body treats them almost the same as sugar. And the added ingredients? That's where it gets ugly. Molasses, corn syrup, soybean oil, these are inflammatory bombs, especially for women 60 and older. They trigger gut irritation, make arthritis symptoms worse, and cause energy dips. If you find yourself craving sugar an hour after eating, your bread might be to blame. Label, trap to avoid, contains 12 grains, means nothing if those grains are refined. Check for added sugars and refined flours. Multigrain can be healthy, but only when the grains are whole and sprouted. Otherwise, it's marketing noise. 1. Processed gluten-free bread for non-celiacs. And finally, the most surprising and dangerous bread on the list. Processed gluten-free bread. Now let's be clear. If you have celiac disease or a diagnosed gluten sensitivity, gluten-free bread may be necessary. But for the rest of us, these breads often do more harm than good. Why? Because in order to make gluten-free bread soft and palatable, manufacturers fill it with ultra-refined starches like tapioca flour, potato starch, and white rice flour. These starches digest even faster than white bread. The result? Rapid blood sugar spikes, crashes in energy, increased belly fat, and a higher risk of insulin resistance. On top of that, many of these breads have zero fiber, no protein, and are loaded with sugar or oil. It's a perfect storm for inflammation, hormone imbalance, and even mental fatigue. And here's the kicker. Just because it says gluten-free doesn't mean it's good for you. In fact, many gluten-free breads are lower in nutrients and higher in additives than regular whole grain options. If you're not celiac, you're likely better off with a sprouted grain or real sourdough. So there you have it, the 4 breads that may seem innocent, even healthy, but are quietly draining your energy, your bone strength, and your clarity. And sadly, they're the ones most women trust the most. Now here's something I want you to really hear. You're not powerless. You're not stuck with what you've been told to eat, and you're not too late to make a change. The bread sitting on your counter, the one you slice every morning without thinking, it may seem small, just a piece of toast, or a sandwich here and there, but over time, those little choices shape your energy, your sleep, your focus, even your mood and memory. And here's what's powerful. Swapping just one of those breads for something truly nourishing, it can make all the difference. More stable blood sugar means fewer energy crashes. Better digestion means less bloating, more comfort. The right nutrients mean stronger bones, sharper memory, steadier hormones. You see, at this stage of life, every choice you make either protects your future or pulls from it. And you are wise enough, strong enough, and deserving enough to protect that future. These aren't just food decisions, they're life decisions. And the best part? You don't need to be perfect, just intentional. So choose breads that nourish, choose foods that love you back. Because your body, even now, is ready to thank you. And your future self, she'll look back and be so proud of what you did today. All right, your turn now. Which bread on today's list surprised you the most? Are you tossing one out or trying something new? Let us know in the comments. Seriously, your story might help another woman make a better choice for her own health. And hey, if this video gave you even one helpful idea, go ahead and tap that like button, hit subscribe, and share this with a woman you love. At LifeStamina, we're here to help women like you stay sharp, strong, and supported every step of the way. And if you're wondering how to cut cravings and tame sugar naturally after 60, don't miss our next video. It's simple, it's natural, and it just might change your life.